Drop a like to this video if you're a fan of Pawn Stars. Hey there people, what's happening? Welcome back to another video on Film Read. Over the last 10 years, viewers have witnessed the Pawn Stars making profitable deals and expanding their business. That said, there's also been legal controversies, angry customers, and certain monetary losses. Here are 6 customers who almost killed the Pawn Stars. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out. Alright, let's get to it. Number 6. Led Zeppelin Signed Album. It's known for a fact that currently less than 30 authentic signed copies of the English rock band Led Zeppelin can be found around the world. Therefore, when a man brought one of these to Rick Harrison, he was quite excited. The album had the lead guitarist Jimmy Page's autograph on the front, while signatures from other band members were found on the back. Rick's expert confirmed that the album was in fact authentic, but was valued around $10,000 to $12,000, while the customer was adamant on 20 grand. Rick wasn't willing to pay that much, so the man walked out of the store without making a deal. Number 5. Golden State Warriors Ring. Next on the list is a customer who attempted to scam Rick in 2013. The NBA ring he was willing to buy cost almost $11,000, but the man refused to accept its actual value, saying that he would only pay $5,500 for it. He didn't stop there. It seemed like his actions were well planned, as he bought pictures of the 1975 Golden State Warrior ring and compared it to the one available at Rick's pawn shop, claiming that the latter was a fake. As he continued pretending to inspect the diamonds for faults and tried to intimidate Rick by acting like a professional jeweler, he mistakenly thought that Rick would lower the ring's price. He even took out his own device, which Rick pointed out was cheap and unreliable. At last, Rick was quite angry and made it clear that he wasn't going to lower the price, so the customer went away empty-handed. Number 4. Perseus and Pegasus Statue. In Season 2, a seller approached the Pawn Stars willing to sell a Perseus and Pegasus statue made by the French sculptor Émile Louis Picault. Reportedly, only 800 copies of the statue were made, and Rick already knew a lot about the sculpture statues, including their price in the market. Upon inspecting the Perseus and Pegasus, however, he identified certain markings and labels that were sufficient to prove that the statue wasn't an original. When Rick refused to buy the statue, the seller lost his temper and started arguing, upon which the security guard entered into the store to escort him outside. Number 3. Hudson Bay Gorget. A customer named Chris brought in a piece of armor that was allegedly established in London in the 1670s. Even though he didn't know much about the Gorget himself, he ended up demanding a whopping $100,000. Upon thorough inspection, Rick and the old man came to the conclusion that the piece of armor was only worth a fraction of what Chris was originally seeking. Not only was Chris adamant on his demand, but also furious when Rick refused to pay the 100 grand. Turns out, Chris simply couldn't accept the fact that the Gorget wasn't originally from the era he claimed, and instead of realizing where he was at fault, he lashed out at Rick and the old man. Number 2. Candy dispensers. Back in 2011, a man walked into the gold and silver pawn shop with a collection of 50 Pez candy dispensers, which were originally from the 60s and 70s. The collection included a massive variety, such as the original Batman, Casper, and Mickey Mouse. Moreover, since it all belonged to Pez, the Austrian candy brand name found in 1927, the customer was seeking 25 grand for the 50 dispensers. Although Corey did show some interest, Chumlee couldn't hide his disappointment and even pointed out that the candy dispensers are no good without real candy, and that the entire collection seemed something only the kids would be interested in. Therefore, Corey told the customer his final offer of 1 grand and expected him to cooperate, but the customer angrily closed the lid of the collection box, walked out, and furiously told the camera that he couldn't believe Corey's offer, and that such an amount for the candy dispensers is no less than an insult to the Pez company. Number 1. Lawsuit by Daniel Callahan. In 2012, Vietnam veteran Daniel Callahan filed a lawsuit in district court in Las Vegas, claiming that Rick and the old man failed to provide reasonable and necessary security at gold and silver pawn shop. According to him, he was put in a chokehold, dragged out of the store, and suffered many serious injuries alongside damage to the rifle he bought. Therefore, Callahan demanded no less than 20 grand. In order to defend his father and grandfather, Corey later spoke up and told the media how Callahan was the one whose anger got out of control during an argument, and he would use the weapon he brought into the store if not stopped. Despite the show's popularity and the growing success in their business, it's true that the Pawn Stars had faced customers that are hard to deal with and sometimes even dangerous. This brings us to the end of our video, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let us know by liking the video. Stick around for more amazing content, as we will be seeing you soon.